Hi, guys.
Good morning, Dr. Gerber.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Christine. Hi, Jessica.
Good morning, Dr. Gerber.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
What are you doing on the call? Did we invite you to talk to other students?
We sure did.
Good choice.
I thought so, yeah.
Good choice. Guys, just so you know, I'm in the car because I have to take Tristan, who's right there, to his doctor's appointment. So I've asked Tristan to not answer all the questions.
I'm sure it'll be hard for him to not participate.
Well, he likes to ask questions, right, Tristan? Okay. Anyways.
If it's okay with you, Dr. Gerber, we'll wait just 1 or 2 more minutes for more people to join.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to. I'm here. I'm just going to
Sounds good.
check if Christine sent me any homework.
And
I'm sure I have some, but
those of you who have already joined, thank you so much. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Just hang tight. Thank you.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, good, good.
Okay, this will be recorded. So if anyone was not able to make it today, we'll be able to share this with them later. I'm going to go ahead and get us started and congratulate those of you who are here today on your admission to the University of Southern California. It is no easy feat. We know how hard you've worked to get to this point. So congratulations again on your admission specifically to the master's program in Civil Engineering, Advanced Design, and Construction Technology. I'm excited to have here with me today Dr. David Gerber, who is the director of the program. He is also an associate professor of practice in civil and environmental engineering and architecture, as well as the associate director of technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We also have here with us today Emily and Christine, who make up the CEE, or Civil and Environmental Engineering Graduate Student Services team. And you'll get to hear from them a little bit later as well as a currently enrolled student in the program, Bi-Cheng Si, who will tell you a little bit about his experience in the program. So I'm going to go ahead at this time and turn it over to Dr. Gerber to share a few words.
Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. I assume you might have already been to one of our explanatory sessions. So forgive me if I'm a bit repetitive, but I will go forward anyways as if you haven't been. So the Masters of Science in Advanced Design and Construction Technologies is a program which we built 4 years ago, specifically to prepare students to become professionals and leaders and change agents, which is a term we like to use, for the AEC industry. So that's architecture, engineering, construction, and sometimes we like to add the operations, which is the ownership and maintenance and running of large capital assets, i.e. buildings or infrastructure. We built the program around 4 key pillars of knowledge and skill sets. The 4 key pillars include data, technologies with an S, integration, and sustainability. And I'll take a couple minutes to explain what each one means beyond them just being words. Our belief as a faculty and as an industry is that data is the new, let's say, gold or oil for all of us, whether in almost any industry. But in particular, data is what will drive better decision making from design, engineering, construction to operations of any large scale capital asset, i.e. a building or buildings or infrastructure. And so we want our students to have a grounding in what does it mean to be facile or capable in using data in their day-to-day lives. The second pillar of knowledge is technologies with an S, and I like to be funny about it, but it's understanding everything that goes into our industry, from the use of a hammer by somebody on a job site all the way through to the use of AI or machine learning based on data, and everything in between. So that's CAD and BIM modeling and 3D modeling and GIS modeling. It's all the analytical packages for making our buildings safe. And it includes also forays into 3D printed concrete and robotics in construction. Of particular interest to me is also the notions of industrialized construction. And that's where we sort of bridge into integration. So integration is a word that I like to use that speaks to what is ostensibly the largest industry in the world, the AEC. There's more money spent in what we do than anything else. But it's also very siloed, right? You have all of these different disciplines that are all contracted and paid in different ways. And so there's a lot of opportunity to change the inefficiencies that exist and have existed for many years, my whole career, I would argue, in our industry. And so integration is the notion that we can all speak the same language, and we might be a specialist in one part of the process, but we can actually really work together. And industrialized construction is a great example of that, where we are exploring and developing skill sets and the critical thinking that goes around what happens when we actually do some factory based work versus just completely thinking about the delivery, the design, engineering, delivery of projects on site. So we also have an emphasis there. The fourth is a really critical pillar of knowledge, that of sustainability. Now, sustainability is affecting everything and anything we touch, we do. Sadly, our industry is a huge contributor in two ways to the negative impacts of human development on the planet. One is our carbon contributions. So when we build buildings, we actually produce a huge amount of carbon, both embodied, the carbon that's actually contained within the materials of the system, but also the living through the life cycle of a building, the carbon that gets used to heat, cool, maintain these buildings. The other issue is that our industry is actually extremely wasteful. We throw a lot away in the construction process, but if you were to move a lot of this towards factory-based construction, you would have a massive amount of wastage eliminated, right? So sustainability is that fourth pillar of knowledge. And from those four pillars, what we're trying to achieve with our students is that they go back out into the workforce, or some may go on to do PhDs, and they become leaders of change, right? Or they start to find themselves in roles where they have more empowerment to implement technology, use data, and become more sustainable designers, engineers, and builders. So that is the sort of the thesis or the impetus for this particular degree program. The way that the program is structured is we have really, it's 5 required courses, which all hit those 4 pillars of knowledge. One is a course on sustainability taught by one of our great professors, Kelly Sanders. 2 other courses taught by me. One is a course where we actually develop modeling and process modeling skill sets with a focus on industrialized construction. Another course, which is really a survey of all of the professions and all of the technologies and technologists that are disrupting and innovating in our field. And then 2 other data specific courses. The rest is up to the student to develop a set of electives, which gets approved by me and by Christine, and with Christine and Emily's support, to make sure that you're actually hitting some aspect of those 4 pillars of knowledge. And so far, we're seeing some great successes in terms of job placements and in terms of career development. Did I miss anything, ladies?
I think you summed it up even better than normal, so that you're on top of
Oh,
it.
great. Um, I will say, we had an interesting, I'll add an anecdote. Yesterday was a very busy day for us. We had the president of the university come and speak specifically to our department. And she was quite magnificent in talking about sustainability. And we talked about our new buildings on campus and the opportunities and the challenges. And, you know, civil and environmental engineering really is going to become ever more sort of present and important as people realize that what we do really touches most of the progress on the planet. And we also have to take responsibility for that. The other part of the anecdote is that, you know, we see lots and lots of students, quite frankly, think that the best careers are all in computer science. But actually, there's more job opportunities in our industry and higher paying job opportunities in our industry than I think a lot of students realize. But they do have to roll up their sleeves and engage in these 4 pillars of knowledge. So we give them the opportunity to do that, to learn this stuff. There's no risk when you're at school, but then to go back out into the workforce and actually capture the value that all of these companies want to actually have in their companies. One other thing is we, within the program and within the school itself, we're really heavily promoting a sense of innovation and a sense for entrepreneurship, meaning that we have a lot of programs that really encourage students that really want to go out and build their own businesses as opposed to just getting the job to do so. So that's another big thread of effort and thought that the faculty and the entire school, really the Viterbi School of Engineering, is putting forward. And in that vein, you know, we have a number of student startup competitions, which I'm involved in, which actually come with like $50,000, you know, prizes for the best ideas. A lot of venture capital coaching, legal coaching, business model coaching, for those students that really have come not just to get the job, but really to go out and build their own businesses. So having said all of that, I will hand back to anybody with questions and to Jessica.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gerber. Yes, I want to invite the students who've joined today. If you have any questions, I've given you all the permission to unmute. If you just want to go ahead and ask Dr. Gerber directly, or you can enter them in the Q&A. In the meantime, Dr. Gerber, you mentioned that whether anecdotally or based on like the data that you've collected, could you share some of the positions that students are getting, whether internships or jobs, or the typical kinds of positions they can expect to qualify for after graduating from this program?
Yeah, I'm sitting there scratching my brain. Where did everybody go in the last 4 years? There's so many. I will say, generally, we see our students coming from construction or from civil engineering backgrounds. Many of them have had the sort of site engineer, the project engineer roles. They come back to retool. And then they go out and look for opportunities in industrialized construction, in the large scale general contracting. And many of my students actually end up as technologists in the design and engineering firms. The list of firms includes the global firms like Arup and Burrow Happold, Simpson, Gumpertz and Hagel, Thornton Tomasetti. And these are all people that I actually bring through the class. On the contracting side, you can think of DPR and Turner and Skanska. These are the large scale ones, Hathaway Dinwiddie. On the technology side, I'm constantly asked for talent for startups that are doing robotic construction or robotic 3D printing, for software companies that are trying to disrupt budgeting, scheduling, and process optimizations. And then, another category of opportunities is people forget that the Amazons, the Facebooks, the Apples, the Googles of the world build a lot and maintain a lot of capital intensive projects, whether it's their offices, whether it's their data centers, or whether it's even the towns that they have to build for their employees. So we see a lot of our students also gravitate from perhaps having firstly worked in contracting and then moving to the owner side. So we see job opportunities across the full value chain, again, from design to ownership of assets. Some of our students have ended up working at USC, for example. USC is a $2 billion annual spend on construction. We see some go to the big sports design engineering firms, just to give you a set of examples.
That's great. Thank you. Oleg, Pubudu, Algalia, do you have any questions?
Go on, guys. This is your chance. Ask me anything and anything you want.
Well, I know some of you have already committed to USC and will be joining us this fall, which is very exciting. So you'll definitely have a chance to interact with us more as questions come up. Okay, thank you, Oleg. No questions for now. Dr. Gerber, that was excellent. Thank you so much for that.
I did such a good job. There's no questions.
I want to be aware of your time and obligations at the moment. So thank you so much. Feel free if you need to sign off.
Okay, I just, again, for all of the incoming students and prospective students still making your decisions, please do not hesitate to ask us any questions. We're all here to help you guys make your decisions. And you can send me emails and I will do my best to reply. I think the intention of the program is pretty clear. We want to make sure that we're not producing students in the old model of the AEC industry, but rather producing students who can go out and be leaders of the implementation of technology to support the efficiencies we all need to see in our industry. That's our goal. That's our mission. We love what we do, and we'd love to see you join us in the fall if that's of interest.
Thank you. I see the students.
Emily, Christine, Bichong, and Jessica, thanks so much. You guys rock. And I am going to sign off unless a question pops up.
I think you're good, Dr. Gerber. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and move on to the advisors and the student panel.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you, doctor.
See you, buddy. I'll see you in class on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
See you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Emily and Christine. I don't know if you want to just introduce yourselves, and Emily, if you can share a little bit about how the students can expect to interact with you once they start the program in the fall, and then we'll go ahead and introduce Bicheng.
Yeah, hello, my name is Emily Millard, and I am one of the advisors in the Civil and Environmental Engineering Student Services Department. I think our primary roles as advisors are just to be a support, and I think Dr. Gerber touched on this a little. If you have questions about registering for your classes or just basic questions about units that you need to take for the semester and what your timeline looks like to graduate, we're kind of that central place for you to get those questions. And our student services team has office hours. We're available via email, and so when you're having questions about what to do, we're like that place to be. And then I don't know if Christine wants to introduce herself as well.
Yeah, hi, I'm Christine. I'm also an advisor in the department and certainly look forward to working with you. Dr. Gerber is really hands-on, so you're in really good hands. We also work with you too, but as far as like course selection and everything, he works so closely with you to kind of build from the elective option courses that kind of fit your academic, your career goals down the road. That's all I have to say.
We actually had a student submit a question when registering for this event about registering for courses. Can either of you just share broadly, what that process looks like and what they can expect?
Yeah, sure. In terms of like having that discussion with Dr. Gerber and deciding what classes you are going to take, the logistics side is pretty easy. We have a system called WebReg where you go in and select the classes that you plan on taking. And if there happens to be a department clearance placed on those classes, then you would just need to request through a system to get into those classes. And that's largely intended because we want to prioritize our classes for our students. And I might be getting in way too deep here in terms of the logistics of registering, but I don't think that students need to ever worry about not getting into the classes that they want to get into. There's enough classes and enough spaces, and so that shouldn't be a concern at all for students.
And you usually can expect an email from Dr. Gerber or even from Emily telling you exactly which courses are recommended for you to take that semester. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it. Just if you want to do that, you can follow the recommendations. If you decide you want to do something a little bit different, Emily, myself can work with you to kind of outline how many classes you would take, in a given semester and plot that out. But Dr. Gerber is really good about telling you what courses to take. And that's going to happen, like registration, enrollment. We're going to take care of that in August. So I know it's April and so many students are like, they're ready to discuss this, but we take care of that in August. And as Emily said, you don't need to worry about the courses getting full and you not getting them. We're managing enrollment to make sure that people get the classes they need to graduate.
Great, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen so that we can give our full attention to our student speaker. Bicheng, if you want to, hello, I see you now.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll go ahead and shoot questions your way.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Bicheng, and I go by Billy. And I am in my second semester in the ADCT program. I'm an international student from China. And I got an degree in architectural engineering from the University of Kansas with an emphasis in construction management. So, yeah.
Great. Can you tell us, Billy, how did you decide to do this program? What attracted you to it, and how has it met your expectations so far?
So coming in, I wanted to do mainly construction management. So I applied to a lot of schools with the traditional construction management master's degree. And I saw this one, which is different from the traditional construction management program. So I was very much interested in what the program has to offer. And so far, I just want to share two things about what makes this program different and better, in my opinion, than the traditional route. So the first one is the program itself. So I think it's very flexible compared to a fixed construction management curriculum. So if you know what you're interested in, or you don't, you have the option to explore, like Dr. Gerber said, the four pillars of this program. Whether if you want to lean more towards architecture design, if you want to lean more, because I'm getting a building science certificate um, for myself, and then if you want to explore in the data management side, if you want to do the technology and modeling side, you have the option to take those courses. And also, you get the chance to take Dr. Gerber's class, and you get to constantly talking to him, communicating with him, and it's just a great way to learn and use the resources that he has of all these experiences and all in the past that he has. So it's a great advantage uh, that is good for the students to take advantage of. And the resources. So, being in LA, there's a lot of big firms that has offices here whether it's private or the for the government, the Department of Transportation. They're constantly hiring for internships, and they always have big projects in the area in California. So you have your academic set, and then you have your potential career outcome as well in a city like this. So yeah.
Billy, has your experience in the program at all, how has it influenced what your career goals are? What direction do you see yourself going in after you graduate?
Yeah, so like I said, coming in, I really was interested in construction management and really more to the on-site part of the job. And now taking all these courses in different disciplines, I kind of wanted to do more beam engineering and more integrated design on that aspect of things. Before the program, I really didn't know there is positions like that in the industry. But the program has taught me so much, and Dr. Gerber has being really encouraging to try these new positions and being the change of the industry. So there's definitely a lot more possibilities now after 2 semesters in the program. So I think I have more options now than I had before coming into the program.
I want to pass it to Emily. I don't know if you wanted to ask specific questions of Billy.
Yeah, I think looking at your experience at USC, are there things that you've gotten involved with whether it be projects or just like student organizations and other opportunities on campus?
Yeah, so obviously in class there's always projects and with my fellow students and Dr. Gerber and all the other professors. But I also recently started doing research for a PhD student. I don't know if that counts. So that's kind of what I'm interested right now, and I'm just getting started. It's very exciting. Right now, I'm doing literature review on VR-based training. So hopefully, I get to learn more about that in the future. Yeah.
You mentioned how LA is such a great city, especially for your industry, that there are so many companies there hiring people with your skill set. Have you participated in any events or workshops by the Viterbi Career Connections office, or how have you been connecting with prospective employers?
Yeah, for sure. I went to a couple resume and resume workshops. They're they have been very very helpful because they're aimed directly to engineer students. They definitely offer a lot of help that I didn't know I could improve on my resume. And I also went to the career fair a couple times, got some great opportunities, and I'm talking to some employers via email to see the options I have for this summer. So yeah, it's great. I'm getting a lot of information from the employers this season because summer's coming up. So yeah, for sure.
I know you had mentioned in your introduction having gotten a degree, I think out in Kansas, and then now being out here. How have you enjoyed being in like the LA area, and have there been things that you've done that you like highly recommend for those that do end up joining us?
Ooh, um, yeah. So KU definitely very different from LA. It's there's definitely more diversity in LA. I mentioned the career outcomes, but in terms of like just living in LA, I'm having a great time because I never been to a city like this in the US before. You have your outdoor options. I recently went on a camping trip with a student organization, um, and that was great. And then you have all these foods and cuisines from different cultures. But yeah, I would recommend different food if you are into that. Outdoors are great. You have mountains, and you also have beaches. So Outdoors great, and then the weather can, I love the weather here. So yeah,
It's the best.
I know.
I just actually met with many admitted students on a trip recently, and I repeatedly would get asked about safety in Los Angeles. And so I'm wondering if you can address that, as especially someone who's lived somewhere else in the US too. And a lot of our students are international that are moving to LA. Can you speak to how safe you feel on campus and any resources that you know of to help you feel safe?
Yeah, so you definitely don't have to worry about it on campus, and it's totally safe. I think they spend a lot of money and effort to make us feel safe on campus and off campus, but on campus for sure. And off campus, they have these ambassadors, I believe they're called, on every street corner within a mile of radius. So there will be ambassadors dressing in yellow in every street corner um, in a radius of a mile. So I feel pretty safe. I live really close to campus, so I don't personally have a problem. Also, I appreciate how the school updates with any incidents happening around the campus, so we have the information if there's anything happening. I think that's also a big aspect of feeling safe is knowing the information of what's happening. Do I need to avoid a certain areas, or just things happening around the campus? That makes me feel safer.
Thank you. I do want to add too that students also have access to free rideshare, the Lyft program, which would allow you to take free rides in a certain radius around campus, especially at night if you prefer to be taken to your destination instead of walking. So just something to be aware of. Oleg Osilama, I want to invite you if you have any questions. Feel free to speak or enter them in the chat. Okay. Do you have any last words of advice, Billy? Anything you want to impart on our future students to help them prepare or feel successful in the program?
Um, sure. I don't want to be, giving out advice or anything, but just something that I benefited is to keep an open mind. And I know a lot of people coming from undergrad, they came from a very strict curriculum and being told what classes they have to take if you're doing a certain discipline, but that's quite the opposite here in this program. It gives you the option to explore, really explore what your interest is in the built environment. So just keep an open mind, explore all the different options you have, see what you like, see what you don't like, and find something you're passionate about, and yeah, just pursue that. And I'm sure Dr. Gerber and all these resources you have and great professors will all just help you a lot along the way, finding what you're passionate about. So yeah, congratulations on admission to USC. Yeah, it's a big step.
Thank you so much. And just because you just said that, I have to ask you, people have heard of the Trojan family, the Trojan network. Has that resonated with you? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little bit in terms of like alumni and employers came from USC, and we had a lot of employers in the industry come back and talk to us that graduated from USC. In terms of like career path is great. It helps so much knowing that you have an alumni that went to the same program with you, went to the similar program, and now there's a connection there. But yeah.
Thank you. Emily, do you have any words of advice for the students?
I think Bijan like hit the nail very well. Just I think really reflecting on what you're looking to do after you get your degree and career options. And I do also want to emphasize that I think that the program is great. And different from that undergrad where you don't have to take all of these structured classes all the way through your program, and there's flexibility, and the professors here recognize that you sometimes need to tailor things to what's going to benefit you and your career coming out of this. And so I think that's a strong advantage to the ADCT program.
That's great. Thank you so much. What a unique opportunity to help kind of build your own curriculum and get to know faculty so well, and really just to achieve your personal academic and professional goals. Thank you so much, Bicheng. Thank you, Emily. I'm just going to spend maybe 2 to 3 minutes sharing some last resources that I want you to be aware of as you make your decision, as well as our contact information, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. So just give me 1 second to share my screen again. Okay. So you may already be aware, but we do have on our website the ability for you to chat directly with our current students. Some are in the civil engineering department. Others come from other programs, but you're welcome to just reach out and hear their perspectives. If you want to know anything about graduate student life or living in LA, they are available to chat with you. So please do check that out on our student life page. We also have a virtual tour of campus. If you have not visited before, I highly recommend checking it out so you can see yourself in our beautiful campus. So many amazing buildings. You'll get to see the engineering buildings, research centers, as well as the center of campus, some beautiful plazas we have. I think that helps a lot in helping you visualize your future here. You can also explore the many, many student organizations that USC offers, that the School of Engineering has, as well as the ones specifically within the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. So those links are here, and we will make this recording available on our website so that you can grab it later. If you want to learn more about safety or how we promote wellness among our students, there's also a lot of information about that. And if you're an international student, you will be supported by our Office of International Services, as well as our own Viterbi admission and student engagement team to help ensure that you're maintaining your status. If you ever need to travel or reduce your course load, we will have experts there to assist you through that process. In terms of deadlines, the initial deadline to submit your financial documents if you're an international student has passed. If you miss that deadline, please feel free to contact us and we can request that it be extended for you. The last day that you can actually accept your admission offer is May 1st, so that's coming up. If you have not already, we do encourage you to submit your statement of intent and deposit so that you have access to even more resources to prepare for your arrival to Los Angeles and USC. And that includes information about orientation, about our mentorship program, where you can get paired with a current Viterbi graduate student who helps you navigate your life, graduate student life at USC. You'll also have access to more academic webinars where you can hear from your advisors like Emily and Christine and get more detailed information about course registration, expectations, and so much more. You also can start exploring your housing options. We know housing is a big factor that you will need to tackle as you prepare for your arrival in LA. And we do have a lot of information for you in relation to living in Los Angeles. So we do encourage you to submit your statement of intent as soon as you can. Here is our contact information as well as our social media so you can stay connected. And with that, I'm just going to turn it over once more to Emily and Christine, if you want to say any final words.
No, I think Jessica, you summed it up really well. I think just for those that are making your decisions, like Jessica had mentioned, there is contact information. And if you have any additional questions, I think also reaching out to current students through that page that was discussed, I think is a great way to learn and help decide what path moving forward is best for you.
Likewise, I don't really have anything additional to add that hasn't been covered, but I do want to say that good luck finalizing your decision. Reach out if you need anything. And for those of you who have decided to join us, we're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bi-Cheng. Thank you, Dr. Gerber, for earlier. Thank you, Emily and Christine. And thank you all for joining and considering USC. We hope so much to welcome you to campus this fall. Bye, Dawn.